Good day. Today, we will be discussing Chapter 1, Lesson 13, Sampling. So, sampling in research is common, especially when the population or the number of respondents is huge. The basic idea of sampling is that by selecting some of the element in a population, we may draw conclusion about the entire population. So sample size is a valid portion of the population or in representation of the population. So whatever the sample size, the result of your study with the use of sample size, then you can infer that it is the same with the population. Provided that your sample size process is scientific and valid. Population element is the individual participant or object on which the measurement is taken or where your sample size will be taken. Population is the total collection of elements about which we wish to make some inferences. Census is a count of all the elements in a population. Samples are valid representative of the population or the representation of the population. So what are the reasons why we need to do sampling? So there are several compelling reasons for sampling. First, it is much cheaper or lower the cost of conducting the survey, since you have trimmed the population into the sample size. Second, greater accuracy of result. So since sample size is a representation of the population, so whatever, as what I have said, whatever result does the sample size have, then as long as it is valid, then it might infer also to throughout the population. Greater speed of data collection, since it is a lesser. Availability of population element. So representation. Sampling procedure can be categorized into the non-probability sampling and the probability sampling. Because in statistics, probability sampling has different statistical tools to be used, and also the same with the non-probability sampling. So what are those non-probability sampling? Is arbitrary and subjective. We used to do so with a pattern or scheme in mind. Each member of the population does not have a known chance of being included. So in non-probability, you are not opening the opportunity to everybody. So make sure. Now, sometimes it's depend on the nature of your study, but it is always encouraged to have the probability. Even though when you use non-probability sampling, still it is valid because it will always serve the purpose of your study. Now, on the probability, it is a type of sample wherein you give opportunity that everybody can be selected and participate on the study. So unlike non-probability, it is just a selection of the respondents. So we will be discussing also the different sampling procedures. So probability sampling again is giving opportunity to everybody an equal chance that they will be participating or give their answers and contribute to the answers for your questionnaires. Now, probability sampling, we have various methods. Simple random sampling, this is the easiest among probability sampling, considering that all targeted participants will be given a chance to be included in the study. So what can you do to observe these probabilities? A simple random sampling. So you can just solicit or secure the list of the respondents. You will write down or print all the names, cut and place that into a bowl, and you will have to draw their names randomly. So it is a simple random sampling, drawing of lots. Whereas systematic sampling, this type of sampling techniques follow a systematic way of selecting participants. The researcher will have to randomly list all the participants and identify the interval it wishes to have, as long as it can suffice the target number of the sample size. So you will list randomly the names. Shall we say, for example, out of 100, you need 20 participants. So you will start from 1, for example, 1 with the interval of 5. So with the interval of 4, so 1, 5, 10. So until such time that you will reach your targeted number of respondents. So it has a system on doing your respondents identification. Stratified sampling. This type of sampling technique use subpopulation or strata as sample. A population can be divided into the appropriate strata. A simple random sampling can be taken in each stratum. For example, students. No? In students, we can classify them into various programs such as BSAB, BSHM, BSCRIM, Education, and IT. So they are strata. So then after that, if you have selected randomly what particular strata, then you can conduct your study. So that is the grouping. So for example, if you have randomly selected the BSAB, then you can conduct your study to BSAB first year to fourth year. Cluster sampling, this type of sampling techniques is somewhat similar to stratified sampling. In this sampling technique, target population will be subdivided into clusters, specifically area of select which area you will have to take for a random sampling. For example, San Carlos, you will be conducting waste management. Then San Carlos is a big area to be conducted with that particular study. So you have decided if it is in the urban or rural area and what particular barangay. So that is what we call cluster sampling. So you are randomly selecting what particular places that you will be conducting your study. Of course, it's all random. They have equal chance for being included in the study. For non-probability sampling, we have convenient sampling. This type of non-probability techniques is the easiest and least option of the researcher to do. The way it will be conducted is selected any person available to participate in the study. Assuming that your study is focused on the student of CPSU, then when upon conducting the study, since it is a summer break, for example, the students are limited. So whosoever is available during the time of your conduct, then they will be included in the study. So that is based on your conveniency. Purposive sampling. As what I have said, non-probability sampling is still valid because depending on the study, purposive sampling, this type of non-probability technique, is better than convenient sampling because in this sampling techniques, the researcher will develop a criteria for a certain respondents that conforms the requirement of the study. For example, if you are conducting the sensory evaluation on squash ice cream, So you will have to develop criteria that first, the respondent should not be lactose intolerant and has experience in or have already tasted at least ice cream. So that is an example of criteria sampling or the purposive sampling. It has a criteria that the respondents must qualified or must first met before you will qualify your respondents. Snowball sampling. This type of non-probability sampling is used when the researcher has a sensitive topic or have difficulty in looking for the respondents. This will start from one person and ask them referrals from their friends, relatives, or co-worker until such time that the researcher will complete the number of respondent needed. So you will start with one person. After interviewing, you will ask if they have friends or relatives with the same criteria or type of respondents that you are needing. So they will refer one and you will have to repeat the process. If he or she will refer you to one or two person, then all you have to do is to interview those referred person. Then those referred person, you will solicit again another referral from them. So until such time that you will have to complete the targeted number of respondents. So thank you very much.